him from the yard.
This is Down the Diecast Pirate, and today I have for you my build for this month's Four Horsemen Invitational. So, let me just pop this out right here. Originally, I bought two trucks, and I thought, well, I would do a custom and make it a king cab, or a crew cab, that is. And, well, today's Wednesday, and the video is due out Friday, so we're not going to do that. Let's get it up on the turntable and take a look at it. So here it is, 53rd anniversary Hot Wheels truck, part of that set. Well, you know, it is what it is. Kind of blah. You know, I do have one that goes along with that set, so I bought this one just for this build. Let's get this thing taken apart and see what we're working with. Alright, so I got it drilled. Let's take it apart and see what there is. Okay, so there's your base. The wheels, we'll get those swapped out, I'm sure. Here is everything else. Just about. So here's your interior grill piece. What is that thing in the back? I don't know what that's supposed to be. It looks like a broken surfboard or something. I don't know. I'm not really feeling that. We'll probably just put a bed cover on this one. And that's going to be interesting because of the way the front of the bed is the interior piece. So we'll take a look at that. Probably just cut something out of styrene. We have the glass here that was in there very well. I'm not really liking this sunroof on there, so I'll probably shave that off the glass piece and fill this hole in. But we'll get the post prepped and drilled and tapped and get into the stripper, and we'll come back and take a look at what we have. I think we'll go ahead and get this in. Where is it? The Super Clean. Alright. I'm not really feeling this blue chrome all over everything. We'll put that in there. Let that do its thing. Alright, so we'll go those wheels off of there. Use those to have some aftermarket stuff we'll go with. I'm not sure exactly which wheels I want to put on this one, but we'll figure it out. And I'll get the post drilled and tapped and everything and get this stripped down, and we'll come back for the next step. Okay, so here we have it. Out of the stripper and everything. 100% paint removal. I'm not going to polish this one, but I am going to buff it just to give it a good consistent finish across the whole body. And then we'll see about filling in that hole. Alright, so here we have it. Most of the discoloration is gone. I think I need to get in there a little bit better. Alright. So there's that. We'll come back when I'm ready to do the next step. Alright, let's see if I can keep from making a fool of myself. Get JB Weld all mixed up. Probably way more than I need. pull out one of these other sticks here. Well, I don't know if there's any real good way to do this. I'm trying to get rid of the parts that are sticking up that I don't want to have to file out of there, and keep the roof intact. So I need to add some more right there, I think. I mean, worst case scenario, I leave too much in there and I gotta take something in and file it out. When I did this the last time, the car I was doing was not as difficult to get into. Try that one more time. Across there. Yay. Got a kitty meowing. Of course I do. You know, because I'm doing something that's very fiddly, and, you know, if a cat's making noise, that just makes everything so much better, right? Alright, I think we're almost right to where I need to be. I think we're going to let it go with that. Alright. I want to give a special thanks to Brad at Full Custom Diecast for sending me the file to print this bed cover for this truck. That was an adventure yesterday. Let's go ahead and get some black styrene rust primer on this stuff, and then on the truck itself we're going to go with the Vallejo, the shifters. So we'll go with the black styrene rust primer, then gloss black, and then the color shift paint on the truck itself. And then I'm not sure what color I want to go on the interior with, but I want to go ahead and get primer on there so it has a consistent color. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you my Four Horsemen build for the month of December 2021 of the Chevy C10. I believe it's supposed to be, I don't know if it's supposed to be a shop truck or what, but this is what I did with it. Let's get it up on the turntable and take a look at it. So here it is, 53rd anniversary Hot Wheels truck, part of that set. Well, you know, it is what it is. Kind of blah. You know, I do have one that goes along with that set, so I bought this one just for this build. Let's get this thing taken apart and see what we're working with. Alright, so as it's coming around, you see that old gold and brown color shifting paint, and it's going green for some reason. Here, position that here. So, tore it apart, stripped it, filled in the sunroof on the roof, put with JB Weld, and then I went over it with Tamiya putty and sanded it until it was as smooth as I could get it. Also, on the front of the hood, when it comes back around again, there was a casting line in there that was pretty deep. I went ahead and filed the edges off of that and filled that in with Tamiya putty as well. And then we went over it with the Steinores black primer. What is it now? Auto color black. It used to be Wicked black. I still have the Wicked black. Not Wicked. What is that? I don't know. It's the 4258. Auto Air Colors is what it is. Auto Air Colors is black is the what I used on it. Then I went over it with the color shifting paint. We went over the interior and the bed cover that my buddy Brad at Full Custom Diecast sent me the STL file so I could print it out on my new resin 3D printer. It's the Anycubic Photon. So I was able to get that from him yesterday after searching for hours online. Well, maybe not hours, but it felt like it. And I couldn't find a file to download, and I was like, hey, do you know if there's a file for this? He's like, let me look. And he had a file, and he shot it over to me, and so I was able to print it off last night and get it ready for today. I printed it in black, but it was still opaque, so I went ahead and shot it with the Steinores primer, and then went over it with the same Auto Air Color black. And it did this weird thing when I started spraying the color on it, and it gave it a texture, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go with that. Because the bed cover is not a hard cover, it's a soft cover. And I think that really helps with it. Now, the detailing. So I went with like a brushed aluminum look. I went with the silver metallic Sharpie, and I used that on the gas cap, the sides, the trim pieces on the sides of the C pillars or B pillars on there, also the trim on the top of the hood, and then the front bumper and the grille, and also underneath the exhaust. Alright, so as it's coming back around here, so I went over the taillights with a red Sharpie, and then the reverse lights I went over with flat white Tamiya. As it's coming back around, I went over the grill a little bit filled it in with the flat black Tamiya, and then on here the reverse lights I went the flat white Tamiya, and then I went over that with the micro crystal clear. And the tail lights also, after the red Sharpie had dried, I went over it with the transparent Tamiya. You know what? This turntable's screwing me up here. Let's just look at it. So the turn signals in the hood, I dabbed into those with the clear orange Tamiya, and then I went in with the grill, the hood holes there with the flat black Tamiya, and also the over inside the grill. And I went over these lights down here with a bronze Sharpie, and also I went over both of those lights and the headlights with the micro crystal clear to give them that glass look. On the back, after I went over the reverse lights with the flat white, and I also did the bronze Sharpie on the Chevy logo, the bow tie on the back of the tailgate there. And then I also went over the reverse lights and that logo with a microcrystal clear as well. So it gives it more of a, a lens over top of them. And then, yeah, so that's what we did. And I dipped the glass in the floor shine. We had these wheels left over from a Pictionary Camaro drag car that I had taken apart and built for Old Man Diecast. And I was looking for wheels that I could put in this. I figured, well, if I have to cut axles, I will, but I was trying to find something that I didn't have to cut the axles on, and those fit perfect. So I was like, there we go. And let me pull out here, I have another what did I do with it? I just had it. Oh, here it is. So I had actually bought two of these trucks, so we can see a side by side now. Because my original thought when I was going to do more of the Four Horsemen builds this year, and things just didn't happen. So I was like, I'm going to do the final one. My original thought was to make a crew cab, so that's why I had two of these. So I don't know. What do you think? Tell me. Do you like it? I think it's better than the original. What do you think? Now, interesting story. My dad had this looks like a short bed, but he had a long bed C10 when I was a kid for a short time. I don't remember what year it was, but I used to go out and sit in the driveway and pretend like I was driving. Sit in the front seat and pretend like I was driving. And that truck, you could turn the radio on without having the key on. And he came out, don't have that radio on, you'll run the battery down. So I couldn't listen to the radio anymore. But I was just thinking about that when I was building this truck and bringing back some memories there. So don't forget, the 5th of January is the Diecast International Builders 4-door muscle car. February is the Rat Rod Builds. March and February 14th, don't forget the special Summer Rose Invitational for the Love Boats. If you have a boat, you go ahead and build it with us. And then March is the Mercedes. In April is going to be the Autism Speaks build. So think about that, and we'd love to have you build with us. Alright, so if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below. Click that like button and ring that bell for notifications. As always, this is Don the Diecast Pirate, and I'll see you next time.